Good morning, anti-novelists and friends. Welcome to day one of the Experience Collection Challenge. This is a note card challenge inspired by my book, Zettelkasten for Fiction Writers, which is coming out in December. And the goal is to get one good note card capture per day that is a detail or something that you could use in your future writing. That's the whole purpose of building an experience collection. It's to give you little tidbits and nuggets that you can draw from when you sit down to start writing. So let's take a look at what I've prepared for you. First of all, you should know that I've got my little mobile deck. This is just a little deck that I created that I can throw in my bag and take with me so that when I see something interesting, I get an inspiration. I've got a place to capture that on my note cards. Secondly, I've created a space in my planner. I've got 28 lines with check circles. So what I'm going to do is for each card that I capture, each main card per day, I'm just going to list that here, and then I'm going to head over to LiLLiPub.org, and I'm going to post that card over in our group. So the link will be in the description if you want to join us over in LiLLiPub and join the fun there, or use this video chain and simply post your note card capture down in the comments. Give us the tagline, give us the content, and tell us how you came to find it. Was it a random discovery? Maybe you were sitting somewhere and you noticed something happening, or a particular smell brought back a memory, so you captured that. Whatever, something random. Or maybe you set a goal. My goal for the month is I'm finally able to get back into that developmental edit for my novel. So my goal is to capture things, both indoors and outdoors, that describe autumn and winter, because that's the section of my novel that I will be tackling in edits. So I just want to capture some really juicy details that speak to the atmosphere, the season, the feeling of autumn and winter. So that's my goal. Secondly, set yourself a reasonable achievement goal. You don't have to do a card every single day to win this challenge. There's no pressure here. If you know that life is crazy, but you can commit to 3 cards per week, right? A card every other day. If that's your reasonable goal, then hey, I'm your champion and I support you. You decide what winning looks like. As long as you participate, at the end of 30 days, you will be invited to join our free workshop, which is going to walk you through exactly what to do with all these cards now that you have them. So let me show you the free downloadable that lives over in LiLLiPub that I've created for you. And I will go slow in case you want to screenshot it. So this is just a checklist to get you started. First of all, quick draft what you know. If pre-writing helps you dial in your goals for this challenge, then do some pre-writing and draft out what you know about your story or your story idea. Definitely restate what drives you, what excites you, what are your inspirations. That's going to help drive you to do your collection each day. Banish perfection. We are not perfectionists here. We like messy and getting our hands dirty. So don't worry about being perfect. Creating a routine or no. Some people like the comfort and the stability of a routine. Others don't. Decide what kind of writer you are. Like I said earlier, define your finish or your goal. If a card every other day is your doable, then that's your goal. And then there's this one that I like to call experience before status. That means a surefire way to make sure that you get one note card created every day is before you grab your cell phone to check your status or post, stop and first make a note card. Whatever's around you, just observe something around you and stick it on a note card. If you do this all day long, you'll have 100 cards at the end of a day, guaranteed. So what else do I have in this little thing for you? As I showed you in my planner, I've just got a worksheet that is 28 days. I give you 2 days off, so you've got 2 opt-outs just in case you can't get your card made. So that's just a tracker to track each day's card. Then I've got an inspiration list. Sometimes I like to sit down and just doodle out, what am I inspired by? What am I curious about? What could I go looking for that I want to add to my collection? That's just a fun way to brainstorm yourself into action. Then I have what I call the blender, the zero draft processing tool. You've got 6 boxes here. You can make as many of these sheets as you need, but it's just like I showed over in Fusion Writing. Take a piece of paper, divide it down the middle. The experience that you collected goes on the left. Let's say the smell of coffee brought back the memory of your grandparents. Over here, what are the possible applications? Maybe you think I could use the smell of coffee to trigger a memory in my main character. That would be one application. Maybe I could use the smell of coffee to lure a character into doing something or investigating something. That would be a second application. You get the idea. This is just a place to process those experiences into how you might possibly use them later in your writing. Then I give you a sorting tool, which includes plot and character and inspiration and scene. And this is just a way to help you sort those experience cards later. Then I give you some suggested buckets. Things like sight and sound, smell, taste and touch, and emotion. Maybe as you're collecting your cards, you're just slotting them into one of these categories for safekeeping. Then we'll process them into writing experiences later. But for right now, that's just a simple 6-point way that you can just slot those cards into a quick file to keep them sorted. And then, of course, there's always the stew pot, which is anything you collect that's just random that doesn't fit into any of your categories. Stick it in the stew pot, which is just a random collection of cards, and we'll process those later. Don't forget to give yourself a place to put your plot bunnies. Plot bunnies are simply those random ideas that show up in the middle of writing. You're writing hot, you're focused, you're working on a scene, and all of a sudden, ooh, I could write about that over there. No, don't do that. Stick it on the plot bunny list. That's just a random distraction. You can come back to it later. And then, of course, as always, brainstorm your own categories. Don't be afraid to come up with your own ideas and categories about what you could include in your collection. So again, this is just a freestyle idea capture month. So anything that captures your attention, that you find interesting, that you're curious about, that you think, ooh, I could include that somewhere. A dear friend of ours over in LiLLiPub, the author Mel Jeffcoat, actually has in his Zettelkasten a section for cool insults. I'm like, I have now been outdone by a fellow writer. I definitely need a section to collect cool insults. So, name of the game, anything goes. Anything you find interesting or exciting that you could use in your writing, stick it on a note card and you've met the challenge. Don't forget to drop a comment below and share your note card content, or join us over in LiLLiPub, where we will be posting all of our cards and keeping the conversation going all month. That's all I've got for you today. Have fun with the challenge, share your work, and I will see you here in the comments or over in LiLLiPub. Take care.